What's up, guys? It's Sean, back again with another video. It's week number 5 and we just completed our 4th week of trading. And at this point in the game, we have just finished Tom's full section on his swing strategy. So now we are armed with all the information in his swing trading section, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. I think things are getting better. If you look at my analysis from when I first started to my analysis now, there's a huge difference, and I think that's in large part due to the flowchart we created last week. Also last week, in addition to the flowchart, Tom had us create a trading plan, and the trading plan is a full, comprehensive trading plan, almost like a business plan. Well, it is a business plan, really. It includes everything from how much funds we're going to commit, how we're going to commit the funds, at what point we are going to have reviews, quarterly goals, weekly goals, all those sort of things, and everything leads to what your quarterly goal is. You have your review sessions on how you're doing with those goals and all sorts of things. So I want to get into that with you guys and just show you guys a little piece of the business plan so that you guys can, see, I guess, what Tom as a professional trader has and what I am doing to try and emulate that. So if you guys want to go ahead and, use that for your own or kind of come up with your own thing, that'll be cool. But anyways, like I said, we just completed our 4th week of trading. We had one trade last week and it was a loss. So we're at 1 win, 10 losses, which is pretty crazy, but I actually feel like things are turning around. And I know I say I had another losing week, but things are turning around, which seems kind of strange. But like I said, if you look at my analysis from the first week and the first few trades to now, my analysis seems a lot more in-depth, a lot more complete. My ideas are a lot more consistent, and I feel like I'm really starting to kind of get a handle on the strategy and how Tom trades and how Tom views the market, which is good. And which even further validated that for me was the one trade that I did take. Tom was actually in the same trade, so that was kind of a little bit of validation for me that I am on the right track with my analysis and things like that. But one thing I do want to talk about, though, in regards to that 1 win, 10 losses thing, and is really the idea of grit and mental toughness in this game. Because what I'm going through now, which is basically what I'm chilling. I'm unfazed about it. I'm not worried about it. I think things are going to turn around. But I know a lot of people who would be discouraged with the strike rate and the consistently losing over this last 4-week time period. And this actually reminds me of a time when I first started trading, when my strike rate was actually like this, not for a week or 2 weeks or a month, but for years. We're talking 2 years before, and it took me work to get to a 33% strike rate. So, I was really, really, really bad. It's crazy because you would think I would just do the opposite of what I was doing, but it wasn't quite that simple to just do the opposite. It was whatever. Anyways, so the idea of grit, because this game will really just kick you when you're down. It'll punch your teeth out. It does not care about your feelings. And if you are the type to get discouraged easily, I'm telling you right now, this probably isn't for you. There's been so many times where I've wanted to quit. There's been times where I've literally been brought to tears with the amount of frustration that I've gone through. I mean, it's really just no joke. Gone through it all, especially when you finally think. I remember there was one time where I finally thought I had got it, right? I mean, I had made money for 2 months at this point, and I had grown my account, and things were starting to look up, and things were starting to get consistent, and I was like, okay, I'm finally going to be able to do this. And in the span of a week and a half or 2 weeks, I wiped out 2 months of profit and then continued trading and basically lost. I went from, let's say, plus, just for example's sake, I went from plus 2,000 or plus whatever back to even, then minus 2,000 over the next month. And so I not only eliminated 2 months of gains, but went in the red as much as I had gained. So like a full swing the other way, and just really, it wasn't the money, the losing of the money that really bothered me, but it was the fact that I thought I had got it and clearly I just didn't. And I mean, at that point I was just so frustrated because I had been through so many systems at that time, and I really thought I had developed something. I had worked, I had back tested it for months, and then really traded it small, then started to put some money behind it, and then boom, like I make money and then all gone in like a couple months, and I'm back to square one again for the 5th time after 2 years. You know what I mean? It's just, I think at that point, like I was literally about to cry. I had tears in my eyes. I remember I was laying down in the gym and I was just like, couldn't believe that this was happening to me again. But that's, that's training. That's what it will do to you. And if you don't have the strength or the confidence to just continue to double down on yourself and believe you can make it, I mean, this is going to be a really, really difficult game for you. In comparison to that, losing 4 weeks in a row, I mean, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, we'll get there. I really do think I'm getting somewhere. I'm discovering a lot about the edge. I'm learning a lot. And so like I said, we took one trade. It was one loser. Tom happened to be in it as well. There's a couple other opportunities, a couple missed opportunities, and one that's coming around now. So I'll show you guys all that in addition to my trading plan. So let's just get into it. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about the opportunities this week, or rather the one trade that we did take this week. So to start off on the daily chart here, we have like this series of highs here, and at the time price was in this region looking like that, and it came and put in that candle there, and that candle broke above the high and closed below. So you had like a false break, but it was really that it happened at this level here, which is, as Tom always talks about, the last low pre-breakdown. So right before I put in this run, it had this little low. So we look for things to happen at areas like that. And so I thought because it was reacting there, and we have resistance here that it broke above, and then but didn't close above, and then it put in kind of like this little like down candle here. I thought we may have room to trade it down into here at the very least, which is our next area. So if we look at the chart at the time that was happening, you can see that it came up and then did this and put down that like that. So it got back below this daily level here, broke back down, and we were trading right here at the end of the day. So I was just thinking, okay, well, that's, if we sell it here, this support turned into resistance, we can go for a quick play down back to here. Unfortunately, as you can see, it started to react off the level and then just kind of ripped right through. The one thing I will say, Tom managed this trade, and I missed the management piece on this trade. I ended up taking a full loss on this where I should have taken a very small loss. Tom cut his trade here, and I just waited for the full loss up here. Now, there are some management things, and I just happen to miss it that Tom does, and I am starting to feel like a huge portion of the edge is actually due to the management. So I really need to work on making sure I'm on top of my management with these trades and making sure I'm not missing anything with that. So that was kind of my one, I guess, mistake of the week, is not cutting this trade quick enough. And he also mentioned to me, that if I have the goal of increasing my strike rate, I should stop trading the ES. So I'm done trading the ES after this. But I just wanted to show you guys the trade. We had another trade on gold that I missed. I won't go into too much detail on it because we missed it. But there's this euro yen idea that was an actual idea, similar idea to the ES, actually the same idea pretty much to the ES. But it didn't come about last week, and I'm hoping we're going to get it this week. So let me show you. So similar situation. We have the false break of this high here at this candle. So it breaks above, doesn't, and closes below. Then we get this candle here, right? And I'm not really willing to trade it yet because I want to see it get back below this low, because it could easily find some support on this this previous high high here, previous resistance. But then we get this candle, and this candle breaks above these two pretty much equal highs, closes below it, and puts in a pin bar, right? So, signs of reversal are coming. So I was like, okay, that looks interesting, but I still didn't want to buy it above this support level because if you look, it's actually balancing here on the support. So I wanted to wait for it to break down below that daily support and get in on a retest. So when we drop to the hourly chart, this was at the time where we were thinking about taking the trade. So as you can see, it broke down through the daily level here and it just kind of ran away with it. Our target is here. So now it's starting to pull back and I'm hoping it pulls back. We get the entry and we're going to look to trade it back down to here. I think it's a solid opportunity. I think it's a good one. And that coincidentally, that daily level lines up with a level that Tom often talks about, which is the head of the hammer. If you've ever seen any of his material, it lines up kind of with that. So we're looking to trade it back into this daily level and look to trade it short down to the trouble area here. So we'll see if we get this setup going. Hopefully we do because I really like this setup. I think it's a good opportunity. A lot of things are lining up for it to move a bit lower. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so this is an updated shot of our equity curve. Obviously not much to see here, but I just wanted to show you guys in the spirit of transparency. So you can see we're down just over 4%. And I will say, again, to that management piece, we are 1 win and 10 losers. Normally, I would be down way more than 4% by now. I'd be down somewhere in the region of probably like 8, 7, 8, maybe 9%. But we are actually only down 4%. So I do think there is something to that management piece for sure. Again, we're going to see how it goes moving forward. Hopefully we can turn this around. But yeah, we're only down 4%. So nothing to be too skittish about yet. We're still well in the region of being able to turn this thing around relatively quickly. So the last thing I wanted to show you guys was my trading plan. Just really quickly, it's just a trading plan, my full-blown business plan of everything and how I plan to execute everything. Why I want to be a trader. I've got my mission statement here, the type of trader that I am, my edge over the next trader, my weaknesses as a trader, and I really felt like this was an important section to focus on. It has the weakness. Why do I have this weakness? So for example, my weakness is FOMO. Why do I have this weakness? Because I want nothing more than my weakness is impatience, I'm sorry. And why do I have this weakness? Because I want nothing more than to be a full-time trader. This resulted in me FOMOing to a lot of trades, taking a lot of super aggressive trades. And then from there, it's, what am I going to do to resolve the problem? And I wrote a very detailed plan for how I plan to work on improving this problem and getting better at it. And essentially, hopefully, eliminating or at least getting the problem to a point where it's not affecting my trading. Then I have my commitment of funds, how much I plan to commit to trading in this account. I have my targets, and for my targets, I didn't want to do monetary targets. So, I really wanted to do something that focused on improving my process. So for my quarterly goal, I wanted to get my strike rate to above 50%. My weekly trading target so all these other targets lead to the ultimate goal of hitting this quarterly target. So it's going all the way down to the dailies, only taking trades within my plan. Then my weekly target is minimizing the amount of mistakes that I make to 1 or less, which allows me to basically consistently trade my plan. Then I can essentially evaluate the effectiveness of my plan every weekend. And, from there I can decide, what sort of things would help increase my strike rate and help decrease my risks, so on and so forth. Accountability, I just wanted some way to hold myself accountable for what I'm doing. The markets I trade, the nuts and bolts, like the tools that I use to trade, time frames that I trade on, everything's pretty much in here. And risk, this is another important section. How much am I risking per day? What's my risk per trade? What happens if I hit my max risk limit for the day? What happens when correlated setups happen? So say you have like a setup in euro yen, dollar yen, and pound yen at the same time? Are you going to take all three? Are you going to take spread your risk across the three? Or are you only going to take one? How are you going to know which one to pick? So all those sorts of things are written down in here. Are we going to hold overnight? Are we going to hold over the weekends? What are the conditions in which we'll hold over the weekend? Those sort of things. When we plan to scale up, and at what point we decide the strategy is not working, we're going to take a break to reevaluate everything. All that is in here. So basically, a full blown, like, okay, stop trading at this point type of thing. We have our general money management. So, how we're going to manage our money. Are we going to keep it all within our trading account? How do we plan on paying ourselves? And how we are going to withdraw. The strategies, that's in our flow chart that we went over last week. Then I have written here my daily routines before the market, after the market, and then my weekly routine in which, I ask myself the same questions and I evaluate my weekly performance and exactly how I plan to evaluate my weekly performance. So the last section here is discipline and, what are the consequences of breaking any part of my plan. So this is my full-blown business plan. It doesn't seem like too much when I just kind of skim through it, but, I really put a lot of thought and it really took some time because I really put a lot of thought into every aspect and really wanted to make it something that I can follow within my business. And this isn't just a static plan. This is going to be an evolving plan that I will update as I think of other things that I can put in there. So I just wanted to quickly show you guys my plan, and yeah. All right, just wanted to thank you guys for watching the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, do everything you do. Love to hear from any traders that are also trading actively, and just chat markets if you guys want. But yeah, thank you for watching. See you guys next week.